Hello, my name is Abbie, Godby, and today I'll be discussing the problems with dress code in the school system. Why do schools teach young boys that it is okay to blame girls for their lack of self-control? People need to become aware of the real problems with dress code, which is that it is sexist, not girls just wanting to dress inappropriately. I've been in school long enough to realize the double standards that exist between males and females dealing with dress code. Dress code has many problems, but the main one is it is extremely sexist. This, however, can be solved by teaching boys to take responsibility for themselves instead of blaming the girls for being distracting. First, I'll explain the problem that dress code is sexist towards young girls trying to learn. Then I'll express a simple solution of teaching the boys to take responsibility for themselves instead of blaming the girls. The dress code is basically only for girls. First of all, dress code at most schools are going to be way more strict on what girls can wear over boys. At my high school, if a male has a hole in his jeans, administration will not say anything to him. However, if a girl has a hole, she is sent home to change, even if she's wearing something under her jeans to cover the skin. From my own school's Code of Conduct book, it states that the Russell County School District has placed the following restrictions on the dress code of our students: short shorts, mesh shirts, bare midriffs, bare feet, dresses or blouses or shirts cut too low in the back or front, unbuttoned shirts or blouses with long armholes and no sleeves, cap or hats, shoes with wheels and inappropriate chains, and trench coats may not be worn by male or female students. Short skirts must be decent in length. Skirts and other personal attire promoting alcohol, illegal substances, and sexually explicit language or graphics are prohibited. Most people would be able to realize that majority of these are directed at the females at the school, and a few exceptions for the boys. Our principal pulled us out all the girls, only the girls, to explain to us why we needed to start dressing better. He took me out of my Algebra 2 class, a class that I struggle with, to tell us this, therefore interrupting our education. In the magazine The Nation, there is an article about young girls speaking out against the sexism in school dress codes. It states that with rising recognition, the girls realized that they do not appreciate being told repeatedly that their bodies were distractions to the school environment and required stringent regulations. School boards need to realize this. Our bodies are not distractions, and neither is our clothing. Sending a girl home to change because a boy cannot concentrate is not their problem, it's the boys'. Schools would rather have a girl miss her class to change out of inappropriate clothes than to call out the boys for harassing them. On average, there are about 321,500 victims ages 12 and older of rape and sexual assault in the United States. I got this information from RAINN.org. I believe this happens because when boys are young, they are taught that if you see a girl's shoulder or belly button, they're asking for something to happen, but it's really not the case. School sees this behavior as a woman's fault because of the clothes she's wearing and avoiding the real issue at hand. Most of the time, students aren't even wearing inappropriate clothes, they're just dressing for the weather. At my last school, we weren't even allowed to wear jackets to school, and most of the stores that you go to don't even sell shorts past your fingertips. Girls then have to wear jeans to school when it's 80 degrees out. Even though girls did nothing wrong, administration wants to punish them for trying to be themselves and dressing the way they want. Teachers see girls as the problem when the boys are the ones really causing the distractions. If schools were to teach boys at younger ages that they are the ones responsible for themselves, then there wouldn't even be a problem with dress code. What you wear at school should not affect your education. Schools have honestly become more concerned with what kids are wearing than what they're learning. In college, there is no dress code. You are free to dress however you want because the males realize that girls can dress as they please. According to educators and even some parents, young women's outfits, their bodies really, are too distracting for men to be exposed to comport themselves with dignity and respect. It's the season of dress code, so instead of teaching girls math and literature, schools are enforcing arbitrary and sexist rules that teach them to be ashamed of their bodies. I got this information from theguardian.com. This is exactly why school systems should teach boys to respect women and their education a little bit more. Because if they really respected their education enough, they wouldn't pay attention to the girls in class anyway. If it were a perfect world, everyone would be equal, and sadly, it's not. But we can push to make things better. Making students take responsibility for themselves is going to make improvements so that everyone gets the education they deserve. Dress codes don't really have to be taken away completely, just made to fit everyone's needs equally. Dress code can, however, be made a little bit more lenient. By allowing girls to wear shorts and tank tops would be enough to settle this issue. This way, everything could be fair for both genders. This is a simple solution for the dress code problem. And if anyone really needs to change, you'd know it. But do not punish those who are just trying to be comfortable. The sexism problem with dress code can be simply solved if girls just wore what they wanted to. Then, if boys continue to act out, then they need to be punished. Dress code is obviously extremely sexist. However, it can be solved by teaching boys to take a little responsibility for themselves instead of blaming the girls for being distracting. It's not the clothes that need to be changed, it's administration.